Hey guys, it's Monica here. I wanted to show you more of my mini album that I made. I had a hard time getting pictures of it, and I don't think that the pictures really do it justice, but this is the book I used. It is by Prima and Donna Downey Studios, and it's from the Poppies and Peonies collection. So the cover is fabric. It's like made out of a canvas, and it has this print on the front. I decided to just leave it plain. I liked it like it was. And then it has this little clasp on it, little flower clasp. So open it up. This mini album uses pictures from a graduation photo shoot from last spring, and I just wanted to scrapbook, put all those pictures in one book, and I also used some inspirational quotes that I felt kind of were relevant. So this is the first page. There's a tag, and it says, "She believed she could, so she did. May 2012. And then the other side, I just kept that very simple with a piece of the Amy Tangerine washi. And on this opposite page, also I forgot to mention that most of the book uses Studio Calico's Heyday collection. Love the colors in the collection and the fun patterns and stuff. So anyway, so I took this paper, sewed around the edge, did paint behind the die cut, and then did some paint drops with, or mist drops with, I used pinstripe Mr. Huey for all of those throughout the whole book. So, next page, tried to get a little funky with the paper, and there's a little tag here. Says, "I am more than what you see." Love those little pair of glasses. I cut that out on my silhouette. And here's this. I stamped the background with my chevron Studio Calico stamp, background stamp. Added some little borders, and that was it. This page I made, this kind of turned out to be like a happy mistake. I sprayed some Sunshine Mr. Huey, and it didn't come out like I wanted to, so I took a paper towel and started to wipe it off, and it just kind of made this funky, fun little mess on the background. This page with the definitions and stuff on it, that's how it came pre-printed. So, and then I made this banner with some of the sparkle twine from Maya Road, and then die cut pieces from Studio Calico. And the little speech bubbles are from Keekerland, I think. And there's a ton that come in there. They're kind of like sticky notes. So she is going places, she just doesn't know where or when yet. Okay, this other page I kept very simple. I did a heart out of twine, and then the flare says, "What a wonderful world." The opposite page, I first started out with the background. I used a polka dot stamp, background stamp from Studio Calico, and I tried to do like the ombre effect, which I had a lot of fun with. And then I cut out the title, and the paper I used, that orange paper, was very bold, so I felt like it kind of got lost on there, so I outlined it with a black pen. And then I added these butterflies and sewed little trails. This is one of my favorites because I love this pattern and the colors. The typewriter paper, and then I did borders with the wood grain kind of pattern. I cut that die cut with my Cameo. added the picture, and then did some more ink drops. This page, the paper came like this with the pre-punched holes, and I just backed it with a pattern paper so you can kind of see like a subtle pink through it, and then just added a couple of things on top. Don't follow your dreams, chase them. I also kind of added in, I have this sticker sheet from Echo Park's Everyday Eclectic collection, which I love, and so I added some of those pieces in there too, which is where that hot air balloon comes from. Okay, the opposite side, one of my favorite Dr. Seuss quotes, and so that I made that the highlight of this page, and I used a bunch of different tags, die cuts. Today you are you, that is truer than true. There is no one alive that is youer than you. So, okay, and then on the opposite page there is another file folder tag. I tried some funky stamping with my hexagon stamps, kind of overlapped them. And then I cut out the globe on my cameo, and that was a die cut from Studio Calico's website. I don't remember where that came from, but anyways. So when I cut out the black so you could see the writing, and I did some white paint drops. One of my favorite new techniques I found. You just take a bristle paintbrush and dilute your white paint with a little bit of water, dip your paintbrush in it, and if you just kind of tickle the bottom of the paintbrush with your finger, you get those fun drops everywhere. Other side, I use this library folder die cut from Studio Calico. It says, we cannot all do great things, but we can do small things with great love. I used that heart and arrow stamp, also comes from Studio Calico. Love it. Added a piece of washi tape. And on here, this picture reminds me of that statue called the Thinker. I can't remember which artist did that, but I remember learning about that in one of my art classes. So it kind of cracks me up. But so I love this rose paper in the Heyday collection. Stuck my photo down, and then I sewed a couple of lines over it. Added this die cut frame and the sequin butterfly. Oh, and I guess I also did some little lacy punch outs from my Martha Stewart doily punch. This spread kind of goes together. It had this tag, and it was separate, and I just kind of glued it down to the ends of the pages, or to the backs of the pages, and then added my photo to make it more continuous. It said, she turned her can'ts into cans. Love that quote. Add a little butterfly, did some stamping, and then the arrow, I believe that came from one of the Studio Calico sticker sheets. Doesn't go with Heyday, but it's one of the other collections. Love the colors on here. I misted with Sunshine Mr. Huey, and then I believe this one was Boss Lady Mr. Huey. Stamped the birds on the wire, added my photo and some washi. Called it good. And then this is one of those pages that has the holes. So another happy little mistake. It kind of went through a little bit on the opposite page, but I love that effect. So I left that one the way it is, and then did this heart die cut on my cameo and added a piece of washi. On this page, a recent quote that I found, with brave wings she flies. So those are some of my favorite Sassafras letter stickers, which they don't make anymore, so sad. And then a feather veneer from Studio Calico. This is another kind of continuous one. I started over here, stamping this quote, "Be so happy that when others look at you, they become happy too." So this I kept plain. I tried to do like the double stamping with the asterisk stamp, and then did some ink droplets. Love that little mustache die cut. That's so fun. And on here I just did pattern paper, and then that border sticker. That came in one of my old Studio Calico kits. It was like an exclusive from Sassafras. So plain and simple there. On here, this was one of those pages that had the definition background, and so I used this bike paper. I die cut the heart out of it, and I left the top plain, and then I just did washi tape over it, and I really like the effect. And this is one of the camera mistables, they're called. And so I misted part of it with Sunshine Mr. Huey, and the other was with, I think water cooler. And I put them all back together to make the camera. And on the opposite side, life is like photography, we develop from the negatives. I don't usually like to use my own handwriting, and I don't usually write in cursive, but I did that on this page, and I really like how it came out. It looks really fun. That camera is one of the stickers from the Everyday Eclectic sticker sheet. Really cute. Over here, I was starting to run out of things and ideas, so I just did this giant hot air balloon that also came from the Everyday Eclectic. Away we go. And then I wanted to be sure to include this quote in my book, so I made it really the highlight of this page. And I did a bunch of different borders with the papers. It says, "It is in all of us to defy expectations, to go into the world and to be brave, and to want, to need, to hunger for adventures, to embrace change and chance and risk, so that we may breathe and know what it is to be free." Very, very neat quote. Okay, very last page. Again, I was starting to run out of stuff, so I just kept this one plain with the wood grain paper, my favorite rose paper, and then I stamped with the stamp set from Studio Calico. It has these different sentiments: shine on, find joy, and do what you love. I felt this all kind of applied here. My last little graduation picture, I just used leftover strips of paper. And then on the opposite side, this tag came with, I think it was a bag or a piece of clothing I had bought, and I really liked it. The brand was Sparrow True, and it says, "Dare, dream, discover," and it already came with this like kind of crinkled texture, so I stuck that in there. And that is it. Thank you for looking at my mini album.